Welcome to my tiny house. Let's go in and take a tour. One of the things that I really like about my tiny house are these wonderful French doors. Now, generally French doors are designed to open in to the house, but we got a pair of French doors that open out, and that gives us a little bit more space when we come into the tiny house to take off our shoes, storage, and we don't have to worry about hitting anything. If I wanted to put a piece of furniture in front of that door, we wouldn't have that problem. And it also gives us just an amazing amount of natural light. So this is my living room area. Now, currently in the tiny house, I do have electricity. My goal is to eventually be off of the grid completely, but for the purposes of getting settled and trying to get everything set up here on this property, electricity is the best bet for us, and it's also the most economical at this point. So I do have a little electric furnace there in the corner, and it works great, gives a little ambiance to the living room. And one of the things that I really wanted to have in my tiny house was a very comfortable sitting area. I found that a lot of people, when they built their tiny houses, they didn't pay a lot of attention to an area to lounge. And that's really important to me. I like to be comfortable in my house, and I like to have a comfortable place to sit. So this couch has really come in handy. It's convertible in two different ways. It has a sliding bed that you can pull out, and it turns into a full-size bed if there are guests over, or if we want to just lounge with our feet up, we can do that too. On the other side, that entire back portion lifts up, and it's full of storage. So I have blankets and games and art supplies and all types of things in there. It makes it really handy. And we do watch a lot of YouTube videos, and we spend a lot of time on the internet. And so people have asked me how I've been able to accomplish that. And the way that I have my system set up is I use a Roku streaming stick, and I use my cell phone hotspots, and I attach anything that we want to use, our iPad, our computer, or even our big TV through the Roku streaming stick to our cell phone hotspots. And that allows us to watch just about anything we want to watch. Sometimes there's a little bit of buffering depending on my speed of connection, but it's worked really well. And I also have another convertible piece of furniture. This is a dining room table from IKEA. I think every person that has a tiny house has this piece of furniture. It's super functional. You can store things in the drawers. It opens to a large table. You can sit 6 people at it if you open both sides, which we have done when we've had guests over, or you can just scoot it forward and flip up one side, and then you have your dinner table. And it's very functional for us. I have it on some sliders, so I'm able to move it around real easily, and it's been really functional for us. One of the things in this tiny house that I really struggled with was getting rid of things. You know, I have things that are very important to me, and I didn't want to get rid of everything. And I learned that living in a tiny house, you don't have to. You just learn to prioritize those things that are important to you. So I built this little shelving unit, and I have little items that have been passed down through my family, or that I've picked up on my travels, things that are really important to me, and I'm still able to display them. Like any home, the kitchen is the heart of the house, and I spend the majority of my time there in the kitchen cooking. I do a lot of cooking. I have propane that I use to cook with and also to heat our water, so that works really well. And I also have a lot of storage, and you may notice I have this one large cabinet here. And what this cabinet is for when we get home at the end of the day and you have all those burdens that you're carrying around with you, I have the ability to just drop them off. You put your shoes, your purse, your cell phone, or whatever it is that you've been carrying with you that day, and it has a nice place where you can stash it neatly away so it doesn't clutter up the house. Another storage solution that I came up with the help of my father, who helped me build this tiny house. And we did it all ourselves for the most part. I did hire someone to do the framing, and my dad is a licensed electrician, so he helped me with the wiring. But everything else in this tiny house, I did myself or my dad helped me with. This is a self-built tiny house. And what goes on here is that every second stair, the top opens up. Now in this one I have the dog food and a fire extinguisher, so that's readily accessible for every day. The next stair opens, and that's our dirty clothes hamper. Right there, tucked out of the way. It's a solution that I had never considered before. I hadn't thought about, well, what do you do with your dirty clothes in a tiny house? You don't have a closet to throw them in. And it goes into that basket right there that you can see, but it's really tucked out of the way, and that basket is the perfect size because, as I'll show you here in a little bit, I have a washer-dryer combo, and it's quite a bit smaller than your conventional washing machine. So when that basket gets full, I know, hey, it's time to do the laundry. So it corresponds really well with the washer-dryer combo that I have. So we've created a closet down here with all of our clothes stashed neatly under the stairs. And it's been really convenient for us because one of the things that we realized is that you're not going to change your clothes up in the loft. When you live in a tiny house, your lofts are kind of short. So it doesn't make sense. You don't want to have to lay down to put your pants and your shirt on every day. So what we created was this little closet area. All our clothes are downstairs. There's a closet here for hanging clothes. I also keep my vacuum cleaner in there. This is my primary cooking area. I do a lot of cooking. And this is my sink. I don't have a dishwasher. I do my dishes by hand. You do the dishes a little bit more frequently in a tiny house if you don't have a dishwasher. But I find that it really doesn't bother me. I like having them done, and I think they get a little bit cleaner when I wash them myself. And over here I just have some shelving that I put in to do some dry storage. A lot of dried goods, nuts, flour, oats, sugars, and different types of things that I keep in those jars. They look, it looks really nice, and it's also a really conservative way of storing these items because all those boxes and bags, they take up a lot of room. And this way sometimes I can buy things in bulk at a grocery store, and I don't actually have to get a plastic bag and bring it home. So it also reduces my waste because I can just bring a reusable bag, weigh it at the store, bring the bag home, and pour it into these containers, and it works really well. And then over here I have our washer-dryer combo, and like I said, this is a little bit smaller than your average washer and dryer setup, but it's worked really well for us. And I might do a whole video on how you get used to using this washer-dryer combo and some of the tips that I've learned on how to function really well with it, especially when you have kids that you're doing laundry for. And as we get back here, we'll go towards the bathroom. That's the entryway to the bathroom here. And I do have a composting toilet. I do have a septic system on the property right now, but I'm only using it for my gray water. We do have this composting toilet. It's the Nature's Head composting toilet. It's been very functional for us. So one of the things that I really enjoy in my life, I love traveling, and I love taking pictures of the places that I've gone. But you don't have a lot of opportunity to hang things on the wall in a tiny house. So I've been very selective and taken pictures that are really important to me of places that I visited. And you can still have them. I had all 3 of these photos in my large, big 2,000 square foot house. Of course, they were in a bigger size on the wall, but I was able to shrink them down. And I still have all 3 of these photos that mean something to me. And they're displayed here on the wall. One of the things that I've learned as well being in this tiny house is that there are some things that just have to be out. I do like to have things put away, and I like things to be very tidy, but I have learned that there are some things they just have to be out in order for you to function properly throughout your day. And that's what this little bucket system is here for. So my son, he's 9 years old, and in order to get him to brush his teeth every night, I have to make sure that that toothbrush is right out there ready for him to grab it, or when he's getting ready for school. And same thing with his hair when he's getting ready for school in the morning. If I don't have that hairbrush right there ready for him to grab it, he won't do it. So the door to the bathroom, I'm very proud of this door. It's a barnwood door that I built with my dad. It's very rustic, and it's not perfect. But like I said, this is a self-built tiny house. And the door slides closed so you can have privacy when you're going to the bathroom. It's a very, very nice way to have a private bathroom. And on the other side, I have the shower. And so when you're not in the bathroom, you can use the tiny house door to cover the shower area. This shower has been really functional for us. And the way that I created this bathroom and shower system, someone can be in the shower, taking a shower, and they can then, someone else can be in the bathroom, combing their hair or brushing their teeth or doing whatever they need to do, and they're not in each other's faces. Now, another thing that I set up out here in the bathroom area, and I'll just show you this real quickly, is I created a situation where, let's say you came home and you wanted to take a shower and you wanted to get dressed, but you want it to be a little bit more private because that's kind of a wide open area and you need a little room to do that. So when you're getting out of the shower and you want to dry off in private and you want to put your clothes on in private, I created a system where there is a curtain that you pull, and it basically sections off this entire back area. So you can go to the bathroom, take a shower, get out of the shower, dry yourself off, and be in complete privacy because, you know, I do need my privacy and my son also needs his privacy, and we want to be able to respect each other. So you have this entire area to get dressed or do whatever you need to do in the bathroom, and you can have some extra privacy if you need it because this curtain will pull over the entire area and make sure that you can do what needs to be done in private. So I was about to tell you one of the luxuries, an absolute luxury of this house, is I actually have radiant floor heating, and that is just been a wonderful, wonderful luxury. It runs all along the floor here, all the way into the living room. So you can walk in, take off your shoes. The floor is warm. I can stand at the sink and do the dishes in my bare feet. The floor is warm. So it's been really nice to, you know, come downstairs or come in from being outside, take off your muddy shoes, and walk around and not have cold feet. I'll give you a little brief view into my loft. When I built this tiny house, I was very concerned that I might feel claustrophobic in my loft. And, you know, I wasn't sure how it was going to go. I'd never slept in a loft bedroom before. But I've found that it's fine. And in fact, you can see up there, there are several things in this tiny house that are not complete. And one of them is the skylights. We just celebrated Christmas Day, and we're celebrating New Year's Day tonight. And I hope soon to be celebrating Skylight Day. The day that these skylights will finally be installed. I love having that window by my head, having a little breeze. I also have this bookcase that my dad helped build, and we used reclaimed library shelves from a public library that was under renovation to make that. So that was kind of a nice reclaimed portion. And also actually the stair treads. These are all library shelves that we reclaimed and refinished. We put them through a planer and then finished them so that I could use these as my stairs. This is my son's side. This is his loft. His skylight isn't finished either, but it's on the list. It's on the list of things we're going to get done. And this is his ladder. I put this ladder together. I ordered it from a company. Just the treads. There are some cast iron treads. They're really strong. And then I put 2 slats that I just stained the same color that we stained the stair treads. And it makes a really nice secure ladder. I have a little safety hook there so that it doesn't move around. And I also have extra grip down there at the bottom, and then also some extra grip at the top. It makes the ladder very, very safe and strong and very functional. I haven't had a problem with it at all. So this is my son's loft. And like I said before, you know, just because you live in a tiny house, you don't have to give up everything. So we figured out a way for him to have the things that he loves. He can do his Legos or, you know, have his toys or whatever it is that he likes and that makes him comfortable and happy. And he can have them easily accessible in his loft. He also has these windows, And he has, of course, a shelf as well where he has books and things that make him happy, and an iPad so that he can watch a show. We do sometimes like to watch different things, and iPads and headphones allow us to do that. That's it. I hope you've enjoyed the short tour of my tiny house. I will get into a little bit more detail about some of the things that we have installed here in the tiny house, what's worked and what hasn't, in some separate videos in the future.